Falcon Heavy gas loads are complete. M1D fuel bleed complete. M1D engine chill is complete.
AFTS is ready for launch.
Front launch direct countdown 1, Super 6, Falcon Heavy, go for launch. Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
Minus 15, stand by for total count. 10, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Falcon Heavy gas loads are complete. M1D fuel bleed complete. M1D engine chill is complete.
AFTS is ready for launch.
ground gas closeouts are complete.
Front launch direct countdown 1, Super 6, Falcon Heavy, go for launch. Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
Minus 15, stand by for total count. 10, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to yet another episode of Rogan Radio, live from the friendly confines of Studio A at the luxurious Casa La Rogan. Now tonight, as we say every single episode, we have a very special show to you. We have Cuddles over there. Listen, Cuddles is back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Cuddles Coffee.
Can we not get him can we just get him one of those wireless mics? He doesn't have to be on the TV, right?
Well,
but at least he can interact. He can talk. We don't have to see your face. No, I know what finger that is.
Well, the whole thing is everything last night. Let's just get right down to the recap of what happened last night. Last night was the big Duggar Bag
shit right there.
And then we'll talk about what we're going to come up tonight. Well, let me tease this.
High five, Jim.
Let me tease you what's going to happen later on. We're going to have a very special guest, the owner of SpaceX. We've reached out to Elon Musk. He's going to call us. Now, if he doesn't call us, we might have to reenact the conversation. Now, we don't know because he's a busy guy.
I think he's going to call.
But anyway, that whole SpaceX thing, we'll get into that. That's nuts, man. That is fantastic. We're also going to talk about the Mustang makeover, the extreme Mustang makeover coming up on the 25th of February down in Jane Lou. Mike Hurst is going to have him and a couple other trainers actually going to have 4 wild Mustangs down there.
Yeah, it's called the First Touch.
Yeah, and you know I can remember this.
You can remember your first touch?
So I can remember, yes.
Oh, see, I thought this had to do with restoring old beat up yellow Mustangs.
No.
That's not what that is.
Listen, Erica hasn't started driving that thing yet. D-Mac is not here. Instead, we have the marketing director, Erica Ferris. She's in the studio tonight, and she's very antsy now about getting into that Mustang, learning how to drive the Mustang. And I told her the only thing that she had to do was pay for insurance and gas and 2 tires. The rear tires are kind of bald because it's not because I spun tires on them. It's because they were just really soft compound tires,
right,
and that's going to be about $1,000. So you know what? I think she can pull off. Get a couple grand out of her. You know what? We'll do it.
What do you think about that?
No way.
Okay,
No?
we'll talk about that too. We have a brand new guest. I know. Are you getting that too?
Yeah, it sounds like a little cricket's going crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Some kind of
Nope, that's not
It's,
that.
we got crickets in the studio. Listen, last week we had
a ghost.
No, we weren't here last week actually because the Super Bowl was on. The week before that, we had a ghost. We had Alexa in here, and she just decided what she was going to do. And anybody listening to the show right now near an Alexa, I bet it's in there with Michelle. I just like to do that. Every time I watch an Amazon commercial, I swear to God, it's like Alexa, and mine keeps going off, and it keeps going off. I'm like, well, they need to come up with something different. Either mumble it or something so every time you see a commercial for something, it doesn't pop up.
Well, Chad said you can change the name. Yeah.
Well, I like the Alexa thing. It's about the only girl in the house
then
that
you
doesn't give me any left.
See, I'm going to go one better. I'm going to say Echo
or computer. Can you say that?
computer
Yeah.
or Amazon. Now we've done hit all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So all of them's going nuts right
But
now.
at least your Alexa didn't go off.
But we have a new member of the family here at Rogan Radio, and give us the details. Todd is now a grandfather. He is officially an old man.
All right, clap your hands, everyone.
Hey,
1, 2,
you know
3.
what?
Okay, there we go.
He's in the grandfather club.
I am.
A
I'm in
very
the
small but growing family that we
Yes.
got going
Yes.
here.
Yeah, because I think Darren was first. No, Chad was first.
Well,
No, I think
Who was
Darren-
Darren? Well, you were Darren was first, then
Darren,
Chad.
then
first,
Chad,
then
then me.
then him.
Uh-huh,
So
and-
there's 3 of us that
Yep.
are in this group, and we're kind of waiting on everybody else to
bastards.
catch up.
That's right.
On
And
that.
did you put some photos on Rogan Radio?
We have him up right now.
Okay, because Chad has passed on the
There's a tradition.
the
First of
Rogan
all,
Radio onesie.
we have a tradition here. When every time there's a new baby born, or I feel like I could fit in it,
Yeah.
then
I don't know what that is. Dude.
Jimmy, try unplugging that iPhone. That might be that iPhone. No,
Nope, not
I don't know. It's something. Getting some feedback from somewhere. We have so much stuff in this studio that there's a little bit of just interference from every now and then. We'll let it be. But anyway, we have this tradition to when anybody, and Chad started it, that thanks to KDS Permanent Design Shirts and More out of Fairmont, 366-122-1234, we have this little onesie. And there she is. What a cutie, man.
He's a cutie pie, man. Holy crap. Anyhow, and then so Darren has Darren's granddaughter wore it, right?
No.
Or your granddaughter
My
wore it.
granddaughter
Chad.
did. I happened to have it, get it made and everything. Darren's, his was already
too big.
for all this. Yeah. So I ended up getting it made, and I thought, you know what? You got a grandkid now?
Yep.
Hey, We're just gonna have to pass it around.
And there's some pictures
And
on the
we're
screen
gonna
there.
have to. We're gonna have
And
to
then
pass it
whoever,
on.
whoever, like Erica, for instance, when she has her baby, then she will.
Well, you know, and that's the whole.
Not for a long
well, no,
time.
see, that's the whole thing. Is that the reason? You know, Jimmy was one of the original 3 here. Well, see, Jimmy's a dad, and he has this son named Christian. Oh. And I've been trying. Listen, and the only reason we keep Jimmy around, the only reason that Jimmy is around is because of Christian, and the only reason Christian is around is because of Erica. And I'm hoping to have these brain kids born out, so it's like Michelle and I can retire like around, I don't know. Let's see, we're 47. By 49, I want to retire.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, you know, I want to have like Space XX. We're going to buy it off of Elon Musk. Christian and Erica can run the thing, run it into the ground. But until I'm dead, you know what? As long as I have a little bit of money, I'll be okay. And I think it's going to work.
I think it might.
And then, but I'll need that little onesie thing.
Yeah, and when I'll pass that onesie down to whoever has another.
Erica.
Well,
maybe next.
Erica and
Michelle's
Chris.
already
Erica and
saying we can
whoever.
wait. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I myself
agree.
better not see any baby in my life.
Oh, I forgot about.
No, another 20 years. At
I know,
least.
but I forgot about Bruce.
Another 20 years.
He's
No.
engaged now.
Bruce is engaged,
In case
yeah.
anybody didn't know, he got engaged, and you know what? Maybe Bruce will have a baby.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that would be
no.
so.
I don't
cute.
know.
no.
I don't know. I think that would be okay.
No.
Last night we had the Duggar dance up at the courtyard there at the Marriott there in Bridgeport. And then let me tell you something. What a beautiful place, first of all. Roxanne, she's always very helpful getting us settled in and keeping us out of trouble with the cops and everything else. And last night was no exception. We had a blast. And then, I'm telling you what, we had the plague of hangovers hit the Rogan Radio crew today. At least half of us.
Half
because
of yous.
Chad, Jimmy, and Todd weren't there last night, but the rest of us were. And man, let me tell you, we danced and we did some drinking and some highballs were there. We have a couple new members of the Secret Society. We have Cindy and Bobette Flying Saucer. They're inducted now into the ever-growing Secret Society.
Somebody else got inducted into that. Was it Mike Husted's wife? No.
Kathy
no,
was
no.
already in that.
Oh, because
Bobette and Cindy last night.
Cindy, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, so they're new members
right.
of the Secret Society,
okay.
the Rogan Radio Secret Society. That's a very hard group to get into because you have to eat those peaches, and we all know when you eat the peaches. That's why we're all drinking Cokes and waters, and I've diluted myself down to Miller Lite today.
Is that what you're drinking, Todd?
Drinking straight from the tap, baby.
We're going to talk about this Star Wars movie. I finally got to see it this
Oh, I'm
past
glad you
week.
said that.
The Last Jedi.
But
And
we
it-
can't really spoil anything because maybe some of our
Listen,
listeners.
that's okay.
Look, if you haven't seen it by now, then
And let me tell you something. The thing about The Last Jedi is too bad it's not going to be the last Star Wars movie. Yeah, they should have called it that, the last one.
So I'm taking from your reaction that maybe you weren't so happy.
Well, the whole Mary Poppins, Carrie Fisher, Princess
I
Leia
don't
thing
know,
flying
man.
I
through
don't know.
space,
I
dude.
gotta say, you make another Rogue One, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Rogue One, probably my favorite
Yeah.
of the 3 so far.
Now, we also have some dudes down here just getting back from Cleveland. You know them best as the One Chip Challenge Wonder. That we're going to do that again tonight, just so happened. No, we're not going to do that tonight. We're not going to do that tonight. Tim, how do you guys literally just get back in town?
Well, I got here about 2 hours ago and ran and watched a movie with my kids and wife, and then came here.
You didn't go see Last Jedi, did you?
No, I went and saw.
No, it's not playing
I
anymore.
went and saw Peter Rabbit.
How was it?
It's awesome.
Was it good?
It's good.
Have you seen anybody
I was
seen?
wondering, they do a good job on that.
Yeah, they
Good,
did. They
good.
really
And-
did.
and
And
anybody-
it was like there was a couple times where I busted out laughing because it was more like, all right, there's gonna obviously be adults
Adult
in the
humor
theater
type
too.
thing,
So
yeah.
there's a couple times.
Has anybody seen The Last Showman or The Greatest Showman?
No, I
think
heard
it's
it was
called?
really
Greatest
good, though.
Showman.
Is it
I
good?
heard it was really good. I haven't seen it.
Brother, tell me what happened last time after you ate that chip. Last time we had you in here,
man,
we did the One Chip Challenge.
Because
And-
you were boss.
It was horrible, honestly. When I was fine clear up into getting to the apartment, and I got out of the car, and it's like I felt like a stomach ache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like a real bad stomach ache.
Yeah, you were
It
here.
just got worse
No,
and
I
worse as the night went on. I at one point thought I was having a heart attack and told Tim to take me to get my stomach pumped. I was like,
Hey, listen.
no.
I dropped him off and got about 5 minutes down the road, and then all of a sudden his girlfriend calls me and goes, TJ's passed out. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, he's in the doorway. And I was like, what? And I come back, he's just puddle.
Really?
Yeah.
That One Chip Challenge, that's a legit
That is
thing. Chad
rough.
found these things. It's right here. If you haven't seen one of these things yet.
There's a chip in there, right?
There's absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
just
we
one
still have
chip.
one left.
I remember messaging you because you were like, "Yeah, maybe we'll crunch it up and put it in a bag of chips." I was like, "You
Yeah.
may not want to do that."
Well, see, that's what I told the girls that because they're all into Doritos and everything, right? And I said, I'm going to
mix
take
it
this
in.
chip, and I'm going to take that one chip and stick, break
Hey,
it up
that's
3 or
one
4
way to
different-
get the car, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was
You
going
want
to
the
put it in.
car?
The,
Eat the chip.
yeah,
She's
I-
got to eat.
There
No,
you
she's got to
go.
eat the whole bag of chips, but the whole.
There's
bag
going to be
contains
a
one of
Russian
those.
roulette.
Surprise.
We'll just
So
call
she
it.
could get that right at the beginning and then still have to eat the whole bag.
Oh man, we could call it the roulette of Doritos roulette,
It sounds good to me.
suicide roulette.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That would be good.
Or maybe just
it's pretty bad though.
20
It's
of
pretty
those
hard.
in one bag.
Now tell us about Erica. Since we're talking about you, we're giving you the nuts aspect of things. Tell us what's the latest on the Instagram. You're the marketing director. Give us what's going on. Have you been busy?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. I mean,
Well,
we're still-
that's a show in general, anyway. No, go ahead. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. We're trying to interact. Dead air is not very good. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Okay. And there's it's still going good, I think. Like people are still following it every day and I post on there daily sometimes. Just depends on whatever you post, and then I try to put what you would want to say and all this stuff. So it's
Fantastic, and it's going pretty well. And that's on the Instagram.
yes.
So you were putting stuff down on Instagram, what you think Chuck might want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, you're grounded. You are so grounded.
Okay.
Listen,
I
last
mean,
night.
it's not bad stuff. It's
Yeah, but that's
good.
Really?
Yeah, but if
Mostly
you're
everything
trying
I
to-
would think
Yeah,
he's
that
gonna
doesn't make
say
any sense
is
now.
bad
You're
stuff.
now
Okay, well,
lying.
Yeah, it's fake.
I take what he
Now
says
you're grand, yeah.
and make it good.
Oh, okay. You put a good twist on it.
Yeah. She's
So
a
you
censor.
think Chuck would say blah, 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 and then you spin it, and now it's good.
Yeah. It's
Well, now
good.
listen. What's funny? Last night we're up here. We have the security cameras around the house, right? Now the girls were here. Erica went to a Lincoln game last night. Just so happens, D-Mac told me there was no Lincoln game last night.
Oh my gosh. No,
Where
no, no.
were you?
Busted.
The Lincoln
Christian was home.
game.
I'm just saying.
I was at the Lincoln
I know
game.
there was one.
Yeah,
But anyway, so we have the cameras set around, and they have motion detectors and stuff. So we're outside, Michelle and I, with everybody else, and we're having a good time. And all of a sudden, her phone goes off, my phone goes off.
Because you have something outside moving.
It's going bleep bleep. It gives this little thing. So it's almost like it looked like something in a movie, like when the president's calling, like when you get to this page and everybody starts looking, and then you see it going down the line, right? So I heard she goes, it looks like somebody's here, because it looked like a shadow right here on this back room, back wall. Well, that's what. So first thing we do, call the house. Everything's okay. And I said, look, you know where the guns are. Make a mess if you have to. I'm good with that. Just don't get hurt yourself. Hurt somebody else. Doesn't matter.
You guys go use the guns. That's why I married you girls.
So then a little while goes along, a little time goes along, and they go off yet again. So Michelle and I was like, let me call, make sure everything's okay. So, because like I said, the entire house is secure and everything else like that. So they shouldn't be going off. You would think by now the people would get smart enough.
So the girls are home.
The girls are home,
But
right?
these are the ones outside.
These are the cameras that are looking on the premises outside.
Yeah.
Right? So anyhow, what happens is that I call. Now listen, I'm worried that something's bad is happening with the girls because the security cameras are going off like somebody's trying to get into the house. Well, they're inside with music jamming, look like some kind of karaoke song, on their hoverboards, flying around on their bellies. And I call and I interrupt everything. At which point I get the teenage attitude. What do you want? I was like, listen, I'm calling to make sure you're okay. Are you okay? Well, yeah, we're okay. Why do you keep calling? Well, because the cameras keep going off. That's why. Are you still alive? You're talking to me? I'm like, good. It's like, turn the cameras off. I don't even care anymore.
You should have said, there's a dark shadow outside.
Hey, they're actually... Hey, listen, I'll have to show you that footage, but they're actually... you could see like some sort of a shadow. It almost... If I wanted to be like a crazy dude, I could almost say there's a shadow figure on this back porch walking up and down. But, of course, it's probably not that. Because
So
if it
what was
was,
setting them off?
we'd get the hell out of here.
What was setting them off?
A shadow figure that was walking up and down the porch.
All right. Maybe
Yeah.
a boy.
No, one of them was catching when they were playing in the house. One of them caught a reflection they were in the window, caught a reflection of the girls because I think it was Erica because it looks like you were taking a selfie of yourself. She does that all the time.
I'm sure.
No
Amy
way.
does it
Yeah.
nonstop.
Anyway, let's get back to Tim. You guys are here for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't know what that is, but we'll get to it.
Tell us the big event.
First of all, since we've been here, someone in this room I'm gonna go with this guy. Is now a world champion.
I saw that, man. TJ, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. I
You know what?
appreciate it.
It was all because of the one chip challenge. That made you that
toughen you
inspired
up, what
you.
it is. It toughened me up from the inside out. Is what it is.
So how did that all tell us about it? You know, how did that all play out, and did that go down in the event that you had?
No. We had to go down to North Carolina for that.
Okay.
The AIWF, what was it, 26, right?
26th
anniversary show, and I wrestled 7 guys, 8 guys, 6, 7, 8 guys,
6
something
other
like
guys.
that. I don't know. You know, there's a bunch of people there, and I just got lucky, I guess, and won.
That's fantastic, man. So now,
That's what happened to Chuck and Michelle. He just got lucky.
Yeah.
Are you on the block now? Is everybody gunning at you?
Yeah. That's why we're here. February 17th, I'm actually getting to bring the title home to Fairmont, and I'm wrestling the 6-time world champ. So
How about
It should
that?
be fun.
Yeah.
Should be a good time.
He's actually the one that has held this belt the most.
He's the most decorated wrestler in AIWF history.
Really?
Yeah.
So this will definitely be a tough contest, and will
fun
definitely be
time.
entertaining to watch.
Well, tell us about the event. When?
It is February 17th. It is at 405 9th Street in Fairmont. It is the Red Door Church between Burger King and McDonald's there on Fairmont Ave.
Right.
The bell time is at 7:05. $7 at the door. As of right now, there's 7
7 matches.
matches. So for $7, really, it's $1 a match. Really,
You can't beat that, man.
You know?
That's fantastic.
And plus, we are collecting winter clothes and blankets for the mission in Fairmont there. So if you have some extra blankets and stuff, you can bring them with you, drop them off at the door, and because we were just in Cleveland,
Cleaned, hopefully.
And,
Oh, yes,
clean.
clean.
Oh, clean. Well,
Clean,
I
yes.
mean, if there was anything on them, I would try to wash them. But hopefully everybody had enough common sense
I
to
hope
clean
so.
them.
Yeah.
But we just came from Cleveland, and it was like 15 degrees there. So when we end up getting in West Virginia, it was like 60. We
we
started to
were
roll
quite
down
happy.
the windows and put the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Oh yeah. I just
So,
saw we're just real quick. Didn't mean to interrupt, but Charlie's on here.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy on here for a couple of
Well,
weeks.
I see Charlie, but I'm never paying attention as the comments come on because I have so many other different things, and I'll go back and say, "Damn, I wish Charlie was on here so I could say hi. Charlie Sars, hello." I just want to say that.
right, there you
Continue,
go.
Tim. I didn't
There's
mean
your
to
plug.
interrupt you.
There's your plug, Charlie.
But yeah, man, we have the World Cruiserweight title match with TJ and Drew Game. We have the World Heavyweight title match with William Huckabee. He is the AIDEF World Heavyweight champion. He's going against Solomon Ash from Detroit, Michigan. We have RSW's Real Shoot Wrestling's West Virginia Grand Champion Johnny Blast going against the Beast Man. He's from PA. We are actually crowning our first tag team champions.
Awesome.
Real Shoot Wrestling.
There's a lot going on this show.
And then also there will be our internet title will be up for grabs, which if people don't know, the internet title, whenever it is defended, it is put on Facebook Live, and you can watch it live no matter where it's at.
That's pretty awesome.
Whenever it happens, wherever it happens, it goes on live. So definitely something that is cool to follow. We've heard some cool things back from us. So we're definitely going to keep doing that. And we definitely have some cool ideas for future shows so more people can watch. And the reason why we were in Cleveland, I'll go ahead and just announce it now, is May 4th, we are in Cleveland, and we are running a wrestling show in Cleveland. We are now running in Cleveland all the time. So we're now moving to Cleveland.
You're
into
busy
Cleveland
beavers.
as well.
Yeah, just a bit.
And March
job.
And March 9th, we're going to be in Charleston, so we're moving to Charleston as well. And if anybody knows wrestling from back in the day and all the fun stuff when they pulled the gun out on TV and everything.
What?
Brian Pillman. TJ Phillips will be defending his World Cruiserweight title against Brian Pillman Jr., his
Just
son,
bring a bigger gun, man.
in March.
I don't
Yeah, I
need
know.
any guns,
You don't
man.
need no
I don't
guns.
even need
Yeah,
guns.
so-
The guns are right between the elbows and the wrists.
Gun show.
So March 9th, we'll be in Charleston now too, and hopefully we'll be growing more and more, and more dates and areas will be announced soon too.
Hey, now listen. When McGregor and Mayweather get back together for like Mayweather McGregor 26. Listen, when that happens and and promote that, hey, get me an autograph or something.
I will. You guys will be a part of it.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, what we're going to do is take a break because we're halfway through this show already, and we're going to make them dance, baby. So go ahead and let them fly. Let them fly. Get the emojis out. We're going to break it up a little bit. Once again,
Put your
Tim,
ones up. Some wows.
Some
Tim-
sad faces.
Tim and TJ in the studio from Real Shoot Wrestling.
Angry faces. You're
Tim,
angry.
Tim is a big champion now. They have a big event coming up in Fairmont on February 17th. $7 will get you into the door, and it's going to be fantastic.
Some love.
The Extreme Mustang Challenge happening down in Jay and Lou. We're going to give you some details about that coming up. That's going to be on the 25th. 25th? Yeah. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
First time these
February 25th.
First time these Mustangs.
Are we recording down there or something?
Well, if you can. Mike Hurst has some wild Mustangs from out west. They come down, and it's going to be their first touch, and they've never been ridden. They've never been,
That's crazy.
Listen, it's either going to be a great time or it's going to be a terrible time for somebody's
You're
back.
going to get on one, right?
Huh?
So you're getting on one, right?
Well, I want to. Now, Michelle tells me no because we're going through these videos, and Mike, strangely enough, keeps putting these videos on Facebook of people getting knocked off and crushed by these horses.
Yeah, they're big horses, man.
Well, they're not because they haven't been touched.
No.
I remember the first time somebody tried to ride me, I was like, "Get off me, man!"
Really?
No, that was only the first time.
I got right back on now.
Well, you don't have any black eyes anymore.
Well, see, here's the thing. I actually have a pretty big fear of horses.
Okay.
That's because they're giant animals.
Just
So-
one trying to rape you. I'm just asking.
No.
You got raped by a horse, man?
I just thought it was people playing like extreme versions of Mustang Sally over and over
Yeah,
again.
right. But that's not the case.
No, when I was a kid, Monongah used to have this festival all the time.
Where they had little horses, like Shetland ponies.
Yeah, something like that. And I got up there. I was going to get on one of them things.
Yep.
But the guy that was leading it around, he had like flip-flops on.
Yes, he did.
Because the horse, all it did was step on his foot. And his foot was green, purple, black. He done broke his foot just by stepping on it. So from then on out,
You've been
I've
afraid of
terrified
horses.
of horses.
Really?
I'm going to go down
My
there.
mother-in-law had horses. She
and I'm
took a
going to
kick
force
once.
myself to try to get on one.
You're going to
the
force
horse.
yourself to try to get on one.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Well, I'll be recording, so I'll get that footage, and then we can put
So
that on
it
some
might be
kind
my
of
back
blooper
that's
reel.
hurting.
Oh man,
Get
I
me
don't know.
thrown off at something.
you don't want to
I
get thrown off of a Mustang, brah.
Any
I'm
kind of
gonna
horse.
try. I'm going to try to force myself to do that.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
So I'll be
that-
the guinea pig. You can tell Michelle, just chill out.
I have
Somebody
a
write
better
this down.
idea. Can I ride the horse and then can I drive the Mustang after?
So you want to go Mustang? You want to do a Mustang on Mustang challenge?
She wants
Yeah,
a
yeah,
double
yeah.
Now, see,
Mustang.
She
challenge.
wants.
Tame
Now
them
listen,
both.
I see how she's working. She wants to participate in the Extreme Mustang Makeover. First of all, it's going to be the horse she rides. It's never been touched before. And the second one will be when I have to take the Mustang to the body shop to get it fixed after she takes all four corners off of it.
Yeah.
I'm a good driver. What are you talking about?
Hello, Bucky. What's up? Hello, James Mariah's on there. Hello.
I know. Can you
Your mom
believe that?
says
My daughter's
absolutely
on there.
not.
What? Oh yeah, sorry. Mama says
There's
no.
your response already.
Yeah.
Mama
So
said
that
no.
would
Mama
def-
said, hell no.
that would be definitely an extreme makeover, extreme Mustang makeover, because I can see the headlights needing replaced, the bumpers needing replaced, the
Yeah,
fenders needing
the
replaced, the
clutch,
top being, the
tires,
clutch definitely is going to be
motor.
replaced.
Basically a new car.
Yeah, new car.
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm a bad driver?
Yep. Pretty much.
If you take after your mom, yes.
Yes.
It kinda,
Yeah.
Dude, you better have some Valentine's crap coming up for that one. I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, speaking of that, on Wednesday is you know what? Somebody find me a Valentine's Day poem. Valentine's Day is coming up on the 14th. Do you have any special plans? What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day?
No, not really. Don't have
Anything?
I'm not planning anything myself.
Really?
Nope.
Nope.
Nobody?
I'm gonna go check out the new aquarium lounge.
I heard that was back open again under
Yeah.
new ownership. Yeah.
Yep, got well, I mean, hopefully she's not watching. Got some. No, I told her it was okay.
Oh,
we
you
got,
just gave away your.
we got reservations. We got reservations, so gonna check that out. I'll let you guys know how it is.
Yeah, tell us. Listen, if
I
you're
hear good things actually so far, like from friends that know who's opening it. So
well, that's fantastic. Yeah, because
aquarium lounge.
they had one over in Clarksburg there for a while, up there at the Rosebud.
Yeah.
it was up there for a while.
in Morgantown.
What do you?
there,
What do you?
Westover.
Anybody plan? What kind of plans, Chad?
I actually, my girlfriend has already been taken care of.
Man.
yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah, but what are you going to do for her, though?
Yeah.
That's a secret.
Yeah. Thank me later.
Well, the only thing she really asked for that she didn't really even ask for was a new
Footnote.
garage door opener.
Oh.
So it arrived yesterday.
Nothing says I love you like a garage door opener.
Hey, you know what? I've got one of the simplest girlfriends there are. She tells you what you want or what she wants.
You know what? That's actually,
That way, all you got to do is go out and get it.
Yeah, that's actually a lot better.
You know that.
Instead of guesswork, yeah.
Erica, what are you and Christian
Yeah.
doing for Valentine's Day?
Oh,
Anything?
I know one thing. You're gonna need some help for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but she's listening now. So you know what? We have these big plans. We're going to take a charter flight out of Benedum, and we're flying down to Asheville, North Carolina, and we got the penthouse there at the Biltmore Estates. Not the hotel, but the actual place, the biggest house in America. It's like $15,000 every hour to stay there. I said, hey, I'll write you a check. No big deal.
So full of crap.
Yeah. No, Erica was helping me.
Cash it till next
is.
Tuesday.
Erica was helping me today on some plans that I need to do. And we have a pretty good plan, I think. We have a pretty good plan.
Yeah, we do.
Darren, any plans for you?
No plans. Just spending time together.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's
How
what it's
simple
about.
is that?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you've always been simpletons around here. I was just trying to ask.
I love
Brucey
that.
doesn't. You sure you don't have? You're going
No
to take her out to
plans?
Amy out to dinner?
Here's the thing.
or-
We were talking about I said Valentine's. It's not technically a holiday, first of all, and two, it's like a business tactics for the candy
Sure.
stores.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Flowers. And
if you think
everything
about
else.
it, a lot of people only do something they should be doing daily.
Well,
on that
that's
just
Jimmy. That's
particular day.
now that's
Yeah.
Jimmy's
Yeah,
thought
just like
on
a-
New Year's
yeah.
resolutions.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I mean,
yep,
that
yep.
should be something. It should be continued doing it all year round.
So basically, you're going to get her flowers and chocolate on the 14th then.
Well, don't have to be. Well, she said that she'd rather have something that reminds her of a Valentine's when it's not Valentine's.
Oh, see, she's
Well,
pretty
see,
smart.
that's where all of us, we need to be a lot smarter. We need to
Oh, yeah,
start
but-
celebrating our Valentine's Day on the 15th.
Yeah, because the price is bumped up
Yeah.
anyway.
Sort of like
Everything's-
Valentine.
Oh, so we can be like half price Valentine's.
That's
level.
why-
No, in all
Happy
actuality,
belated
this is a real
Valentine's.
thing. Both my daughters told me I was stupid because I never figured this out before. My girlfriend and her daughter, they're both like, hey, the day after Valentine's Day, the day after Easter, those are the days that they want to go to the store and pick up candy because they're all 70, 50%,
Oh, absolutely.
75% off.
Yep.
So if you spend $10 and get one big candy bar, guess what? You can spend $2.50 to get that candy bar, and then spend the other
But does-
$7.50 and buy a bunch of other candy.
Does that mean you're thrifty or you're just cheap?
But here's how it goes. though. You buy more candy, and then they're gonna be like, "What are you trying to make me fat?"
Yeah, but
you can't win.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but if you buy candy around the Valentine's Day, you can stretch to the Easter.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
I mean-
good too.
You
That's good,
could
too.
buy a bunch of that Valentine's
Yeah.
candy for the Easter basket.
Hell, I'm still
Exactly.
trying to get rid of Halloween candy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Smitty
need to
asked,
start
Smitty DeCorsick's on here. He wanted to know who out in East Shinston got bit by a horse that took her inner thigh off. And I don't remember that.
Or took a chunk out of her inner thigh.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Why is a horse that close to their inner thigh?
Yeah. Being
The
raped.
famous Mr. Ed.
Todd, you're over there
Hello,
thinking way
Cassie.
too hard about it.
Cassie's on here. Her car's back in the shop again, by the way.
Mark Miller joined.
Mark Miller.
What's up? We used to work with
What's
Mark.
up, Mark Miller?
You look up Valentine's poems, and
Yeah. Find me a Valentine's. Something
well, you
cheesy.
try and find funny ones, and this one's just raunchy. I don't even know if I'm gonna read this.
I think
Is
you
it-
need to now. You can't start something like that and then say no.
Is it really raunchy?
It's not that bad.
I mean, is it sexual? Because we don't want any sexual stuff.
We can do sexual
Dude,
stuff.
that's
No, we can-
Well,
no.
Come on, this is-
we can't do it.
All right.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
because
after.
tomorrow,
It's kinda funny.
listen, because tomorrow we're going to be down at the city council meeting in Shinston because they're going to have a proclamation for like a Rogan Radio Day. So we can't get to because everybody's probably
Yeah.
watching this thing now. We can't go and say so we go in there tomorrow and it'd be like, you know what? No thanks.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys just go ahead and get
So
out of
is
here?
that
Now
the-
next
you
week
think-
we can do that.
You think maybe that's the real reason why Derek McIntyre's not here tonight? I mean, he's running for office.
Damn,
He's
the
running for
man.
House
We'll
of
do what
Delegates.
we want.
Damn the torpedoes. Find me a nice Valentine's Day poem. We'll have Brucey read it. Like he's gonna give it to Amy.
James Knight said he had a teacher in high school that got kicked in the head by a horse.
Dang, gone. I hear a lot of stuff like
Kicked
that.
right in the head. Where does your head
see,
have
I did go to YouTube and start pulling up videos. Stupid people with horses. Yeah, let me tell you something. There's some people I have no idea how they survived.
Man, they get
A
kicked by
hoof
horses.
kick a dude right in the jaw, broke his jaw, knocked him about 10 feet backwards. How in the hell these people survive this stuff?
I don't know, man.
Well, you know, when I was in school, especially grade school and middle school, I was kicked by teachers, not by horse.
You're kicked by the teachers.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was the norm over there when I was in school.
Well, I mean, that's what when we were growing
Yeah.
up, the
Yeah,
best,
it was
the
a
worst we
norm.
ever got.
That's where you should have learned to wax on and to wax off.
we had a little.
That's part of the teaching.
One of the things that teachers were they were all physical education teachers because they would You
get
would
a physical education
from each one. If you mouth them off, paddle. If you said anything wrong, paddle, 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 paddle. How many times did you get your ass blistered in school?
more than once.
Oh, me too.
Oh.
Jimmy? Did the nuns ever beat you up when you were in grade school?
A couple times I got whacked in the hands with a roller, man.
Yeah, they would definitely do that.
You went to
Especially in them
Catholic
rollers
school?
that had the little metal edge. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God! They're not supposed to hit. They're supposed to hit you flat, man.
Darren, how many times did you get your ass beat in school?
More times than I'd like to remember.
Yeah. 'Cause we got
Plenty.
Mr. Corley down in Shinston. He had this paddle, and I can't remember what he called it, but it was almost like a drill. He was like the executioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would drill holes in this thing. So when it came time to paddle whoever got in trouble, like you got paddled, like Mrs. Sharp used
no
to
wind
paddle.
resistance.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and they leave like those cool things on your ass after you got beat with them. But you know what? Like you would get hit by your teacher. But then if you did something so bad that the school shut down to listen to you cry after you got whacked, those were my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't ever.
Those were my
remember
favorites.
that.
Oh, no,
After that
absolutely.
first smack, everybody's aware of it.
But you know what, Mr.
7th grade, man.
Yeah.
You got your ass beat in the seventh
Oh,
grade.
no,
You got your ass beat.
Oh hell, I've been
Dude,
getting my ass beat
Oh,
since I was in
that's
first
most of
grade.
the time I
went to
got
a
my
Catholic
ass beat
school.
was in middle school.
Really? Mine
Oh,
was always
yeah.
in grade school. When
Yeah,
did
mine
they do
was in
away
grade
with
school.
that
Yeah, mine was
corporal
grade
punishment?
Oh, you should hear.
I'm not sure when they
Yeah,
did
what
away
I
with
used
it.
to get in 7th grade. There was one teacher, and she actually apologized to my mom.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote that down, and then I claimed that I really wish you quit doing this. And what she come up to you, pinch your cheek, and pulls out and
Jeez.
drug it down to the floor.
So that,
Dang, pull you right out of the seat
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, I mean,
that's what
yeah.
happened.
Oh, see,
That's what she does. You
That's the reason.
I hope
Somebody
so.
would've
you
took an ass beating.
you forget the homework that you're supposed to turn in. That's what that's
Really?
what you'll get. Yeah,
Well, I can
For
remember.
forgetting homework?
yeah.
Listen,
It's no
Oh, I
joke.
got my
At least
ass
I know how to
whooped
turn my kids' homework good now.
I hope she's
ass
in hell
whooped.
right now.
But what was cool is like, and it was always Mr. Corley back in grade school. It was never Mr. Nichols. He was the principal. And he never, not that I ever remember him paddling anybody, but it would school would shut down. Like during school, like it would be like right after lunch or something like that. And they'd say, everybody, I want you to listen right now because we got two kids that are about to get their ass paddled. And I want to watch it. We're going to really embarrass them now. You're going to hear them really cry. So sit down in your seat and enjoy the ride and make sure tomorrow you aren't that person. So, so it would come out.
That would be hilarious.
It
Oh,
would
no.
be. It'd be humiliating and painful.
I never got that. I got paddled in class, but I never did something so bad where I got paddled.
Well, you had to go to the principal.
Well, when the school shut down,
Oh, yeah.
just everybody could hear it, right? And they would. I'm trying to remember. My goodness, I'm trying to remember who it was the last time, but they were like the tough guys in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they walk out, they do the Green Mile thing to go out there, and Mr. This I can't remember what he called it. This thing was about like this, and he had holes in it and all that. Mr. Corley was a cool cat, unless it was time to be the executioner. Then he did his job very well. And you know that is something. It's like you had the sound of a crack, the baseball bat. That sound. There's certain sounds that I love, and that sound, the sound of a paddle cracking somebody's ass. It's a very particular sound, and it's lovely, as long as it's not you.
Exactly.
Charlie said that he used to get whooped by a wooden spoon when he was home.
Oh no, I got
Oh,
that in
yeah,
the fly
that-
swatter and yardstick.
Yeah,
Mom.
yardstick, wooden spoon.
What about when you was younger and you had those paddle balls and you kept breaking the rubber band on the paddle ball and your mom kept the damn paddle? And
Oh, see, I never had that problem.
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
I
wooden
never
brushes.
had that toy.
Never
Hair
had that.
combs, like the hair like the woman's heavy hair combs.
Oh yeah.
Not like the Fonzie ones you slide in your back pocket, the big heavy hair
Well, then,
combs.
that's what I mean. The girls have no idea about this. And then I was telling them one day, we were so poor growing up in East Shinston. I mean, it was ridiculous that there were no such thing as dentists then. They didn't have dentists up until about 10 years ago.
Right after Rudolph got his
Right,
shiny nose.
right after that. So anyway, what Mom would do to me, she would get like when I'd have a bad tooth, say whatever it was, maybe I got a little tartar on it. She would tie a string around it, then she would tie it to the door and slam the door. She's got a little tartar on my tooth, and then she would slam that door and it'd rip the tooth right out of my mouth. And then when it started bleeding, I'd start crying. She goes, "Suck it up, or I'll give you a reason to start bleeding and crying."
You over exaggerate everything.
No, I did that before.
Everything.
I actually tried doing the
Someone
string with
just
the
said,
door
someone just
myself.
said Erica looks terrified at these stories.
That's what I mean. They walk. Tim, I swear to goodness, they have no idea what it was like growing. I mean, it was almost like when we were growing up. It was almost like physical abuse, right? And you can't do anything. We would go to school. That's what I was telling them too. Yeah, you could have 3 feet of snow on the ground, and if you could walk there, you went there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, maybe the bus they would have more bus delays than you were anything
I
else.
don't care if it was 5 below. If you could get that,
Oh
you win.
yeah, yeah.
And back on the paddling thing, man, I had the double executioner there because my mom was a school bus driver. So whenever I'd get my ass beat in school, she'd know before lunchtime.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's how it was. If you got your ass beat
I'd
in
get
school,
my ass beat at home.
you got your ass beat at home,
get-
too.
Oh, you got dose.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you
yeah.
this.
You got
My mother was an artist
Dose.
with the damn leather belt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, she can make that thing reach out and touch somebody. I'm telling you.
My dad was good with the belt, boy.
Oh yeah. See, that's what they. When's the last time you got your butt paddled or beat from your mom or your dad?
Oh,
for
you're
doing
going
something?
to narrow it
No,
down.
no,
to
no,
that?
Erica.
Me?
Erica, have you ever has that ever happened to you?
I don't think so.
Really?
That's the problem.
I'm
It's
not a bad kid.
Need to know what it feels like. Yeah, I don't have a belt. Who's got a belt?
I got one.
Got a belt on.
Whoop her
All
ass.
got belts on.
Somebody
Let's
whoop
try
her
it.
ass.
Oh, I'm telling you
I didn't
what.
do anything wrong.
Yeah, but this is just
You're in here,
normal.
aren't
Well,
you?
no, see, don't
You did
get me
something
wrong. Don't get me wrong. We didn't really do anything wrong either. It was just a way to get aggressions out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, okay, you're slurping on your soup. Well, come outside because you're getting your ass beat.
The best thing ever though was go find me a switch.
Oh, that's the worst.
I never had that. I never got
used
that.
that.
And don't
I've
dare
used
come back
that.
with one of them.
Yeah,
They
don't
get
come
those
back.
brittle ones or
twig
little
in the
tiny
skimpy
ones.
one.
Oh, if they had to go get the switch, they gonna get that one that when they hit you, it's gonna wrap all the way around to get the front too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That was the worst thing. When Mom had the fly swatter out, she would often, like if I acted up, more often than not, when I was either fighting with my sister or doing something in mass on Sunday morning, and I'd get, then it would be right in that house, and boom, I knew what was coming because she'd almost tease me with it on the drive home. She goes, "You were really bad today, and because of that, I want you to know I'm going to get great satisfaction in making you cry," because the whole thing was about getting that aggression out. But she, with the fly swatter especially, it was like a white stick with a big orange thing on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, flies water.
Yeah, and then she.
Or it was the old wire ones. It was like it had
Yeah.
a metal coat hanger for a handle.
Well, no, that's exactly what it was. It was like a piece of plastic, the orange thing. But she would, with the fly swatter, she'd never hit me on the can with it. It'd be the back of the legs.
Don't cry. I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt me.
You know-
Worse
you
than
know-
it hurts you.
Talking about those
Bullshit.
paddles and abusing or whatever. There's a wrestling guys right here. I'm sure they're familiar with that. Some Japanese guys wrestling, and when they go extreme, you know what they come out with.
deathmatch stuff.
They're crazy stuff back then.
Oh, I've glued his back together while eating a sandwich. I know
couple
all
of
about
Yeah,
that crazy stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an actual story. We can show scars later. Well, he can show you. I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't have
I was
Hey,
just
no joke.
I was just gluing it together.
No joke. Back when we were on the paddling, my mom, I messed up so bad one time. We were up at my grandpa's, and I was actually sitting down at the ball field in Shinston, waiting to play the next game. And she had this great big 94-foot Chevy Impala, that the door weighs more than three of us put together.
Something
now.
Ice Cube would love to drive.
Yeah. And she comes flying around there and pulls up, and I seen that look on her face, and I was like, oh, my God. So she pulls me in the car away from everybody, takes me up to Grandpa's, beats my ass so bad she passes out.
Dang!
Wow.
Because
She was giving you it
Not
all.
only, I messed up, I deserved it. But then I ran around the pine tree so she wouldn't catch me.
Oh, I did that one time.
She got a hold of me, man.
Did you make it
She
back to your
wore
game?
me out.
Yeah,
No.
she did.
Oh, boo.
No. I didn't make it to the next two games.
How funny.
Well, yeah, I actually deserved that.
But it sounds like abuse. But that's the whole thing now because it was just this.
I
And you
tell
know
I
what?
still remember today. And
Oh,
I'm
that's what
50.
I'm saying. Because you know what? I tell you what,
Yeah,
it did.
but what Darren's saying is Darren understands he deserved it. He should have got his ass beat.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
These kids today,
I never did.
maybe
it
not
then,
you,
I
Erica,
promise.
because your
Yeah.
mom said that you were an angel.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what I
she
was
said
getting
we were
ready.
talking to the
Yeah.
wrong kid,
Yeah,
so that
but
means
I
the
just-
one inside is the one that got
Yeah.
spanked.
Oh,
These-
yeah,
These
definitely.
kids nowadays, man, they don't think that there's no way in hell they deserve to get
No consequence
Oh,
for
you
you.
should have seen Mia when she got her mouth smacked one time.
Really?
You
Tell us
don't-
about it.
You don't back. You
Where's
don't,
that CSI thing?
Tell me about it.
you don't back talk mom.
No,
You never back talk mom.
No, see, I've tried that a couple times, and you know what? I'd never have won that.
No, she tied you up and everything, too.
No, listen, you talk about a master with a leather belt. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
and then, you know what? She
no.
brings out the paddles. And then, no, I'm just playing with you. No, but listen, no, I have learned is that I absolutely stop because she gets a look in her face, and tonight's expose, Michelle on a rampage. Watch this Mama 3 go crazy and beat her ass. Anyway, she goes, But I just know. And you know what? Good thing you weren't living back and, say, growing up in the 70s. Because if you were, you would be black and blue. Because it was legal back then to basically abuse your kids.
My mom's favorite thing.
But it wasn't abuse. It was just how it was.
My mom's favorite thing was whenever you ran your mouth, she wouldn't whip your ass. She'd smack you in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't your ass that said it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You show up the next day, you got a big old cut on your lip. Back talk to your mom, didn't you? Yeah.
Hey, how about being in the back seat of a car and she be driving and that hand come out of nowhere?
Man. Yeah.
And it wasn't even safe being right behind her either, because somehow that damn elbow would turn backwards.
Listen, I tell you what, now that's funny you say
hand
that.
come out of nowhere, buddy.
That's funny you say that, because, you know, my dad, when he was driving, we would go to Saltwell Road a lot, and then my sister and I would always fight, and it gets annoying. I can tell you that. And I'm sure it did. But do you know what? He had patience about as long as, I don't know, this. And I'm not listen. The whole funny part about this thing is it didn't happen.
It's actually pretty big.
It didn't happen all these things. It didn't happen very often. I don't want to act like I got abused. It probably only happened 6,000 or 4,000 times. I don't know. It wasn't very often.
I got a feeling you deserved it too.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I can just tell you that too. And it would, like I said, it would get annoying. But the great thing about all of these stories is no one remembers them. Like Dad's like, oh, we never did that.
Well,
okay. Mom's like, oh no, come on, you make it sound so much worse. It was nothing like that.
We never did that.
I was 5 years old. Of course it was bad, and ever since then, I've had this violent tendency, and no, I'm just joking about that too.
Well, see, the bad part about it is I raised my kids the same way.
Yep. Me too. You know, that's my kids.
And I hate to say this, but I've already had to crack my granddaughter's hands.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that.
Well, when they go taking their fingers out of their mouth and get ready to go play with the light socket, believe me, you'll go to swatting real quick.
That's different.
Yeah.
Digger on here said that he went to school one time with a bruise, and his teacher said, asked him what he did to get in trouble at home.
Yeah.
Because they know. Get your ass beat at home.
Back in them days, yeah.
Back in them days.
Now you call CPS.
You sure do. Then parent gets put on trial.
How about Tim? Did you get any good beatings? TJ, did you get any good beatings in school? Was that still going on then?
Actually, I
Look at their career choice.
I got.
That's where it started.
We dug it. We liked it, so we were just like, "Hey, let's do this."
Like, hey,
Like, I can get paid for this. All right, I'm down.
No, I still remember one, and there wasn't a paddle or anything involved. It was more of a tackle to the ground and a foot on the chest, saying, "You're not going to do that again, right?" And I said no, and I didn't do it again. So
See,
this was your wife?
no, that was my dad. But, but she's way meaner. But I can't even talk about that on here.
Probably more scared of her than you are him.
Oh, totally,
I
all day
understand.
long.
I got
She'll
it.
tell you that. I'm not scared of him now. But I feel like now that the roles are reversed, I feel like he's just getting me back for everything I ever did.
Yeah.
Everything.
I feel like I got slighted because I got beat so much. That's why I had kids, so that I could actually beat them. And now you can't even beat them.
I know. It's almost you know isn't that something.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, I'd like to say hello to Hope Ortega Alexis. She just sent me a friend's request, and I'm not sure where she's from. She
from
has
heaven?
5 friends: Johnny Granny, Zach Malls, Shane Eckert, Phil Suthers, and Logan Paul James Nelson. That guy's going to be a serial killer one day. Logan Paul James Nelson.
Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like perhaps I'm her very first Lumberport friend. So, you know.
Wow. They're probably from Lumberport, too. It's amazing you don't know them.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hello, Hope.
You need
Alexis.
to accept.
here, right?
I bet
You
they
need
went
to
to Lincoln.
accept, and you need to send her a phone call.
Yes.
Should I go ahead and message
What
her?
a stalker.
According to
Listen. Because
All I know is look at the awesome guys she's already friends with.
That's what I'm saying. This dude right here, this Logan Paul James Nelson. Oh, I know him. That's her neighbor, isn't it? Is that her neighbor up there?
No, don't say it.
Anybody want to chill?
No, it's not. He's from Bluntville, Tennessee.
Yeah, hell yeah, he is.
Anybody
Listen,
want to chill?
looking at
Who
that
does
picture
that?
and hearing those latest stories and looking at that picture, I'd say those girls go to Lincoln.
Okay, look, here's what happens.
And I'm going to guess one of them's getting spanked by somebody.
Okay, look.
Well, they probably did something wrong and they deserve it.
Here's what
Or they did something right.
Here's exactly what happens. Every time you accept one of these things, boom, what's the first thing to happen? They send you an instant message. Okay? So I say, you know what? We send one first.
Did you accept it?
You just want to just
Don't accept it, just send a message.
Yeah. Should I do this right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Host Ortega Alexis.
Hey, I see you're in the area. Want to hang?
Yeah, you want to
chill.
Want to chill? I know that other guy does.
I'll say
What happened to being tasteful from tomorrow?
thanks in advance
Who knows?
for letting me know I hit the Facebook lottery.
Yeah.
Facebook
lottery.
Lay it on thick right in the beginning.
Yeah. Enter. Okay. There we go. So we'll just wait till she'll probably end up calling now, and then we'll get in trouble because Michelle will come through those doors like Princess Leia flying through space.
Yeah,
we know this.
I'm an actual real person, by the way.
This is only an experiment. We are your witnesses.
Anyway, let's talk about what's going to go February 25th. You guys got that pulled up. It's going to be down in Jane Lou with Mike
February
Hurst. It's going to be the
25th.
Extreme Mustang Makeover. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 4 Mustangs that they've corralled. And the thing about Mustangs is they are wild horses. So they just can't, I don't want to say lease, adopt them out. They have to have some sort of a training with them, which is what Mike does. Right. So they have this 100 days. You can watch it on, I don't know if it's on CMT or whatnot. You can go on YouTube and look at a lot of it. But it's a national competition, and Mike's involved with this. They have 100 days to get a horse that is a Mustang from being absolutely wild, that was used to being its own person, flying out there like a Disney movie, running through the plains.
Where do they get these at, Chuck?
Well, what happens,
Out
how they
west?
actually get them, but they have the Bureau of Land Management, and every so many, I don't know if it's every year, or I'm not sure exactly how that works. They corral them, and they take them and they put them in these, what I like to call holding pens or orphanages, what. So they don't go out there and starve, and they don't get overbreed.
Right.
But they can't adopt them out because they're wild horses. So they, for all these years, they just kind of fed them until they died, and they cramp them up together. They just, because you can't slaughter horses in the United States. So anyhow, somebody came up with this idea a few years ago, I guess, that they'll have this contest, and they're going to get these Mustangs, so they can actually adopt them out, which is exactly the whole point of this. They have 100 days to go from this wild horse to the point where you can ride them things, no problem, and somebody can adopt them, which is a great thing.
There has to be a certain criteria you have to meet, right? You can't. You couldn't adopt a wild Mustang, right? Where are you gonna put it?
You probably have to have so much
Oh,
land.
yeah,
that's what I mean. There has to be a certain. You have to meet
if you're
certain
living,
guidelines.
There's probably some sort of city code. You can't have lumber
You can't put
park.
one back
I
here?
couldn't put a horse in the backyard even if
don't know,
I wanted to.
How do you know? Maybe you
Secure the area, bro. Come on, man.
Listen, can you imagine me?
Who's gonna come back here and mess with that?
Could you imagine
It's
me?
wild. Be careful.
Be careful. But these horses up there will be. They'll be touched for the first time by people.
Well, I think they mean rode for the first time, because don't they touch? They have to get them.
Well, they have to get them to the
somehow.
point to where they're used to
Well,
people.
right here it says a handful of wild Mustangs will be, and I quote, touched for the first time in a public event.
let's
Okay,
say-
well, it says in a public event.
Get in there.
On the 25th at the Bright Bill Farm Training Facility on Hidden Valley Road in Jane Lou. That's the 25th of this month. Yeah, Mike and Tiffany Hurst are doing that.
We actually had a roll rock carrier out of Clarksburg got chased down by a horse.
Really?
And bit on the rear end.
Really?
Yes, we did. It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Carol was just telling me about this about 4 or 5 days ago.
Never heard about it.
That wasn't,
you hear
that
about
wasn't
that?
me then.
Yeah, I guess they kind of razzed him a good bit about it and everything.
Yeah.
I guess the last time that somebody really razzed him, they had brought him in a little bag of mini carrots.
Oh, no kidding. I've never heard anything
So
about
take these
that.
with you?
Yeah,
Take these with you?
I guess he's all right with it now. It was Justin. Go and ask Justin.
Oh, okay.
And just ask him.
How
ask him
funny
about
is
it.
that? Now, listen, there was up in Staley. Remember the people that had horses back there
Yeah.
on Morgan?
Up on the top of Morgan.
We were delivering after dark. You get up there after dark. And first of all, Staley's a scary place after dark anyway.
You can see addresses over there.
Well, I know you can't. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's dark. It's dark, and you would
Called
go out
prostitutes.
you go out there to
Bruce.
the end of Morgan, and all of a sudden you'd hear these horses out of nowhere going, "Whoa!" And you're like, what the hell?
And listen, this was a perfect example of where not to have a horse.
Well, there wasn't enough land.
There wasn't enough land. They had
'Cause
what?
it was
fenced in, but there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough.
There might have been. There
You
might
can
have been an
keep that
acre or
in the
two.
city limits,
Yeah.
though? They can keep
Well,
that
see,
in
I'm
the
not.
city limits?
I'm not sure even where the city limits are and where they aren't. It had to be city limits. I don't know. But anyway, what happened was they had like 2 acres. I would say at least 2 acres up there. But you know what? When a horse, all they have to do all day is eat. Before long, all the grass was gone, and it became. Then all of a sudden, they were eating tree bark and leaves, anything that they could find, and it wouldn't grow back fast enough. So they ran into a problem like that because them things eat. I mean, they're always
A
eating.
lot.
Yeah, that's a nickname for them, hay burners.
Hay
burner, yeah.
grazers, like a cow, like cows, grazers. Except you can't eat them.
Yeah,
I
it's
hear you.
illegal.
But you can ride a
Can
cow.
we get a pet horse?
Can we get a pet horse? I'd rather have a
Oh
pet.
man, she hit you with it.
Listen,
Listen, you gotta ask for something way bigger and then come down to a horse.
Get a mini pony. They're way cooler.
Yeah. You know, hey, can I have a pet shark or something? You know, and then eventually he'll say, "Oh, yeah, a horse ain't that bad." Then.
I want a pet
Get a
horse.
mini pony. Get a mini pony.
I want a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I would love to have a Tasmanian devil. We were watching this on the YouTube today. So much, in fact, that I, to our Australian fans, and they would probably hate this if I said that, is that I put on Crocodile Dundee. I haven't seen that movie for a long time, and I bet
still haven't.
Only for the mere fact that there's a new one coming out.
And you still
there
haven't.
is a new one.
Dundee Jr. coming out.
No.
That was fake.
That was fake.
No,
that was
wasn't.
it. I think it was.
No, it's
No,
are
you
you
sure?
sure? Yeah, it's a legit.
Look
They've
it up.
got 3
Look it up.
different
Trailers
for it, man.
I know, I understand, but it seems
Todd
like on the
doesn't know.
Super Bowl it seems like on the Super Bowl they had that commercial.
The Super Bowl ad was a tourism ad for Australia. Is all it was.
That's all that was?
Yeah.
So that wasn't saying, "Hey, this is fake. It's just an ad."
No. It's a legit movie.
Well, hell yeah, then I want to see it if it's a legit movie.
No
but
matter
tell them,
what you
Chuck. I was
talk
upset.
about, you have that in your hand, and I just cannot take you
This,
serious.
paper?
Yeah.
Stress
It's
pack.
like, yeah, you being serious?
Are you
serious?
Serious?
Like, how am I supposed to be serious about a movie trailer when you're holding that and jiggling
This
it?
is
at
why I
me?
bought this thing, man. And if you remember, Chuck broke the last one.
I was gonna say one of
You
them.
had to go out and buy
I
a
went
whole
to
new one.
Spencer's and got another one. It
Yeah.
was the last one on the rack.
I know,
wonder
because
why.
the old one, the sperm was coming out of the balls.
Yeah, the sperm was coming out of the balls.
Jeez Louise,
And,
I'm sorry.
It leaked
Now we
out.
have a brand. new
Okay,
stress
let's
paper.
quit talking about. This is that movie trailer you're talking about. This is for Dundee, the son of a legend, returns home, 2018.
And this is real. This is legit. Says
There's
Tim
that.
Cross.
What was that one thing?
Aubergine.
Yeah. The didgeridoo.
Yeah, this is for all. I wonder if
I used
like.
to have one of those.
Didgeridoo.
My bad.
I wonder if for.
Gesundheit. Didgeridoo.
Yo, where them kangaroos at?
Brian Dundee?
Yep.
Is that
Daniel
Kenny
Hester.
Powers?
Yeah.
Really?
Kenny Powers, man.
Yeah, man, that dude's hilarious.
Dundee, the son of a legend, returns home.
Why do you keep saying really?
That is the funniest dude on the planet. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
I wonder if that's going to be real or not. I hope so.
It says summer 2008, man. I don't know.
Seems like a lot of time on trailers for it not to be
2008?
a real movie.
Yeah, they spent a bunch of money on advertising. If that was just a plug for Australia.
They've actually got other
Trailers.
trailers and everything. There's at least 2 more that I've seen.
Well, I'm going to go see that movie.
Yeah, that'd be
Anybody
pretty
wants
good.
to go with me?
Kenny Powers. I love
I'm
Kenny
buying.
Powers.
I'll go.
Did you ever watch
Okay.
that television
in.
show, Kenny Powers? Or
I've got
was
it on
East-
DVD. Anybody
the-
wants to borrow it?
Eastbound
and Down.
Oh my
Eastbound
goodness,
and Down.
that show was so fun.
You know what? You told me about that for years. I said, that sounds so stupid. And then once I started watching it, that's all I was.
Oh, it's
I was-
hilarious.
Hey,
I was-
isn't
I've
he the
never
guy that
watched it.
plays in Due Date as the vet in the wheelchair at the Western Union?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I didn't
Isn't
see
he
it
that
today.
beats Morton down his ass?
What was the movie he was in also?
Pineapple
where,
Express.
what was it where he was the pizza, or where they were trying to kill the dad, the dude's dad, to get all the money, and they were pizza boys or something. They held somebody hostage.
30 minutes or less.
Is that what it was? Listen,
He's
they had like the
freaking
drill sergeant dad. The one dude did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, and also, listen, he's in what's that? Is it Vice Principals or Principals? Is that
He's on that show, yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
I think it was
Vice Principals? I think.
Yeah, something
HBO.
like
Think
that.
Chuck. I'm surprised you don't know that.
No, I don't want. I
I
don't
wanna
watch
look
too
it
much
up.
TV. I watch American or Designated Survivor. Love that show.
I haven't watched that either.
Love that show.
Haven't seen an
I've been
episode.
watching The Bachelor. Anybody been watching The Bachelor?
Oh, my
Hey, listen,
God.
Crystal got kicked off last week. She
You
was
can
being.
definitely
I was
tell
happy to see
he's
that.
overrun by women in his house.
He really
yeah.
has.
Hey,
there's
He
something
we
really
can do.
has.
And This Is Us. We watch a lot of This
Oh,
Is Us.
my
We'll sit
God.
on the couch and cry over
There's
that.
something we can
Yeah,
do.
he's over
We
there
go
watching
around.
that while I'm sitting there watching Walking Dead and all those good manly ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it's
like-
role
like-
reversal. It's
Yeah.
role reversal. Eric
Well,
is
I've
in.
always been watching Walking Dead since the beginning.
See, now you guys, are you still into The Walking Dead like you were?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Because
I mean, it's definitely went down, but I'm still watching.
Erica is a true fan. True and true. Almost like Todd was with Duck
This season's
Dynasty.
been getting on my nerves.
Yeah,
Todd
Duck
loved Duck
Dynasty.
Dynasty so much he put stickers and stuff all over his car. And you know
did.
what? I don't even know if those guys are still on TV or not. Are
I
they
don't
still?
think so. I don't think so.
I don't think they are either.
They probably pissed off people, so they took them off.
Yeah.
Every once in a
Once
while,
they
you'll
brought
see
religion
something.
into it.
Every once in a while, you'll see Phil Robertson on, giving his opinion
Yeah.
of music kids are listening to today, or different
funny.
things like that. But
I follow him on Instagram.
Hey, there's something you can do. Go around the room and tell everybody. Say, hey, what's your talk? What movie or what shows do you watch? Because you'll see the difference in how everybody's different.
Well, the show.
About that,
Okay,
'cause
then
that-
let's,
you know what I'm saying?
we'll top 3 shows. What you
okay,
watch,
top
not that you like, is what you watch.
Yeah, what you watch.
Okay, or if you don't have
I
one,
gotta
whatever.
think about this.
You're only
I
going to
already
have
have
a
my top 3.
Yeah, my top 3 right now, and it's not that I like them all. But I watch them every single week.
Right.
The Bachelor. It's all just top 3. The Bachelor, This Is Us, and Designated Survivor.
Wow.
That was it. I'm pretty much a wussy now.
Sounds about right.
Hey, Cuddles, will you open that door, please? It's getting warm in here. Anybody else warm?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You just told
Chad, what do you
Cassie
think?
Allen who got
He
kicked
got all
off.
Okay,
out of control
I'm
when
not
he
going
mentioned
Oh,
it.
Cassie didn't see it last week?
No, she said thanks a lot. You told me Crystal was kicked off, Chuck.
Oh.
I'm a week behind. She
Absolutely
said.
but
disappointed. Picks.
Asshole.
Damn it. But you'll get great satisfaction. You will get great satisfaction
He
seeing
got
her
more
face.
satisfaction than any of us did.
Yeah, I was
Guess
sitting
you
there
shouldn't
like,
have procrastinated.
Yep.
listen, spoiler alert, Crystal gets kicked off of The Bachelor.
Well, you've already said that. So
And
you
the
should have
Bachelor-
said that the first
The
time. you
Bachelor
said
Winter
it.
Games are getting ready to start, too, by the way.
Well, I've been watching the Winter Games.
I've been watching a little
I
bit.
don't
Anyway,
watch
Chad,
them
go
like
ahead. Let's not get off topic. Top 3 shows that you watch that you can't live without, that you watch every... it's-
Okay, I'm going to exclude all the Marvel ones that I
Okay.
watch. So I'm going to go with The Good Doctor on Mondays, NCIS on Tuesdays, and The Blind Spot on Friday.
Never heard of any of
I
them.
have no idea.
It's the NCIS I have. Erica.
All right, so Walking Dead, number
Okay.
1, of course. Grey's Anatomy.
Greg's
Love
Anatomy.
that show. And The Bachelor. Probably.
Okay, well, that's
Probably, or American Horror Story.
good. Tim?
Wrestling, and American Horror Story when it's on.
I've heard American Horror Story is actually really good.
It's like literally the only show me and my wife go out of our way to watch.
It's really good, huh?
Yeah, I just enjoy it. I mean, there might be times where we're just sitting down and just like screw it and we watch like a whole season of something.
Yeah.
But like for week to week, nah, I ain't got time for that.
Right. TJ?
I really don't watch TV at all. I read books and like watch Muppets because I have kids.
And
And that's
Labyrinth.
about
You've been
it.
watching
Yeah,
Labyrinth.
I watch Labyrinth at least once
David
a day.
Bowie?
every
Is that
day.
His
David
little,
Bowie?
his little one, it's
Yeah?
nuts. It's like
He's sold on it. Like he's crying. You put that on, it's over. He's
Oh, like
done.
on
He's
Big
gonna
Daddy.
sit there
What was
and
that?
watch it.
What was
it
that?
changes and just
Yeah,
on
in
Big
a
Daddy where that
second.
kid goes, the something song.
the kangaroo song.
The kangaroo song. The kangaroo song.
And listen, man, Magic Dance plays in my house at least once or twice a day to stop the crying. And as soon as it starts, man, Alistair he's done. He's watching the TV, paying attention. So if it works, I'm good. I hope
There you
it
go.
works until he's like 18 or
And
19.
Darren?
Obviously, Walking Dead, Vikings, and Naked and Afraid.
By the way, speaking of Vikings, you got your hair cut.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all gone.
Dang,
You
look
start
good,
that
too.
Vikings. I haven't seen that yet.
It's
I heard
man, it's
pretty
excellent
good.
series.
I heard Game of
Now,
Thrones is good, too,
it's,
but I've never seen
yeah,
that.
I don't have
Love Game
HBO,
of
or I'd
Thrones. I
watch
just
that.
finished.
But yeah, Vikings. It's Hollywoodized, but it's still a good storyline. They go along with history quite a bit, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean, there's some things that's exaggerated, of course. I mean, for TV.
Brucey, top 3 shows you watch every week.
I don't watch TV. I don't subscribe any TV, so I don't watch.
You don't
any,
even watch
no.
any TV. You live a reality TV show. We
Well,
call
but
it This
I-
is Brucey.
I do-
Brucey
I do-
Almighty.
yeah.
Brucey.
I do-
Bruce
I-
Almighty.
I do watch that documentary, a lot of documentary on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And
There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube also.
Yeah, short films. Yeah.
That's what every Monday when the girls come in and getting ready to go to school, because Monday's Chuck Day. That's the day that
Monday.
Chuck Monday. That's the day I get to take them to school. And every Monday I'm learning something new. Like I've been an air traffic controller, I've been a train engineer, I've done all these different things, and I learn all my trades off of YouTube. And every single morning.
They got
And then every day he has a new job.
Every single day. Every single day. Today, I think the next one's going to be Tasmanian Devil Trainer.
Oh, God.
First touch,
Well, we
first
know
touch
what-
demo.
I don't
We know
think
what
we
your
need
shit house
another-
polio is going to be about this time.
I do that too.
He'll come
Jimmy.
out. "Woo, check
Watch,
this out."
of course, Walking Dead. Finished up not too long ago. Game of Thrones. I loved Game of
This
Thrones.
This isn't Walking Dead now.
No, you weirdo. And I love, believe it or not, I love a show called Outlander. I thought it was like the Highlander when I first started watching it. I was like,
Netflix?
oh, the Highlander.
Highlander?
Yeah, I thought it was the Highlander, and I started watching it, and Yeah, it wasn't the Highlander. It's actually a good show for like you and Michelle to watch. It's kind of
like a This Is Us thing.
It's like Scottish versus British. It's got fighting, but it's also got like love story.
You would cry. If it makes you cry, you watch it.
So like both you can watch it.
So it's like when Jack and what's his name, his wife on
Don't give anything away. Don't give anything away.
They fight a little bit because they're arguing about who's going to make the mashed potatoes, and it's just like, oh my god, you know what? And all of a sudden the house burns down, and they had the little dog, and he saves the pictures and stuff, and it's just like, oh man, what a great guy Jack is.
All right, real quick, Charlie Sayers, she says Oak Island, Live PD, and Carnival Eats.
I haven't heard a daggone one of those, Charlie.
Oak Island? Oh,
Live
the Curse
PD.
of Oak Island? That's good.
I've never heard
Live
of it.
PD.
History Channel?
They actually had one from out in Huntington.
What is Live PD? Is it like a cop show?
It's like Cops, except
like
it's
Cops,
actually
except it's live.
Really?
Wink, wink.
So let me ask you this:
Yeah.
they actually have to
Wink,
stage
wink.
a lot of stuff to make it so they're not, you don't always like to say,
Well, that's where the wink.
Well,
came
they've
in.
already been under fire for the mere fact that a family was watching an episode and saw one of their own family members,
Oh, so it's really sort of
and
live.
he was shot. Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, wow.
I'm
the
sure he
altercation
deserved
was
it.
going on.
I'm sure he deserved
Hey, he
it.
shouldn't
Settle
have shot,
down.
pulled a gun, or
You
shouldn't
know
have
what?
pulled a gun.
Maybe,
can't help it.
I think maybe what needs to happen now is maybe we do need to do away with guns in America. Maybe so.
I don't think
but
so.
arm all cops with paddles, and they can walk up and down the street. And if you just act up, if you spit on the sidewalk or something, you know what they say? Listen, 5 whacks on the ass. That's what they do in the Middle East. They
They
flog
chop your
them.
freaking hand off. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Live PD must be a pretty good one because Digger says that's one that he watches.
I've never heard of. What's that on?
I've never
What's
heard
that
of
on?
that.
What's that
Live
show
PD's
on?
actually really good.
A lot of people ain't on live
It's
TV.
pretty good.
A&E.
Can't remember.
I don't know. Todd, top 3.
Listen, I really enjoy the Goldbergs.
Oh, I love the Goldbergs too. Yeah, that's a good one.
They're funny.
Wow.
No, I'm
You've had
looking.
20 minutes
I
to
do
think
like
about
that
it.
one. I do like that
The
one.
Goldbergs?
It came on. It's actually on Nick at Night now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
the Goldbergs?
Yeah, and it's really funny.
Oh, it really is.
I like Grey's Anatomy.
Listen, I don't want to hear about your love life.
Yeah. Hey, I can tell you now when
so
Roseanne
good.
comes back, it'll be on my weekly
Oh,
show.
absolutely. And listen, we're catching up. I think we're current now, but Shameless season 8.
Now,
Shameless.
see, Michelle has been going through a Shameless marathon.
Freaking
She's trying to
love
catch up.
Shameless.
She's all about it.
And
She's
listen,
watching Shameless
I
like
couldn't get through
crazy.
the first damn episode.
I love it.
Really?
If you
I've never
like,
tried it.
does anybody like the Big Bang Theory?
That's how I was.
Love
with
the Big.
Stranger
See, I
Things.
love the Big Bang
yeah,
Theory.
yeah, I do.
Okay, I've been watching
Sorry.
that Young Sheldon or whatever it's called.
Oh,
you know?
I can't watch Young
No, I don't know. If you give it a couple episodes, I didn't like it either. But then I started
I
watching.
made
I'm
it
like,
through
hey,
1.5
this is pretty
episodes.
cool.
and I
How long is it? How long is it when you start watching a show that you really like? Say like it'd be the Happy Days
3,
or
4 episodes maybe.
Say,
Yeah.
That's
okay.
how I feel too.
Now, how long after you start watching that show before you start getting bored to where you just don't really like it? They almost write
Depends.
themselves. They almost
Depends
jump
on
the
the show.
shark, so to speak.
I don't know what
Yeah.
season is The Walking Dead on.
Oh,
What?
8. No,
Okay,
8.
season 8.
What's
Yeah,
it?
we're on season 8,
Season
and
8.
it comes back on February 25th, and I'm so excited.
About
Yeah,
season
like
8.
Tim, like how long does it take? Like if you're watching a show, I don't know, we'll just say This Is Us or whatever. We'll say that, and you watch it, and you see the character. And in the beginning, it's kind of
You don't
slow
know the
because
characters.
the character, and they're not even very good until the actual actors get into their parts too. But then there's that sweet spot, like a season or two, to where it's just the writers are in tune.
You mean
the
like
actors,
Saturday Night Live?
sort of like that, right? And then all of a sudden they start overwriting or they start overacting, and then all of a sudden it just becomes, oh, now it's just
Isn't
dumb.
that how the TV show ER become?
Yeah,
House-
no,
I
that's
tell you
how
what-
Greg's Anatomy
Right.
feels for me.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that's still on TV.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, listen,
Grey's Anatomy?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's
season-
still
the
new.
new season's coming out on Netflix.
How
soon.
many? How many seasons are they on right now?
Oh,
They just finished
17, 13?
No, they're going on 14.
14?
I had
They're
no idea
going
that
on
show was
14.
still on because
Yep.
I remember like
Every Thursday
a
night.
couple years ago. So I forget. I think my wife watched it and was like, she was like devastated by what happened in the show, like so much to the point that I thought that was the final episode.
Right.
And then like literally it was like a couple months ago, someone was like, I got to watch Greg's Anatomy. I'm like, dude, it's a replay. He's like, no, that's still on. And I was like, are you I had no idea at all.
Well, see,
that was one of those shows where it just started to get deep and like a lot going on. And it just like, I guess my wife just stopped watching it.
Hey, I want to throw out
Walsh,
a
you see that?
I want to throw out a shout out here to Mark Walsh. Thank you very much. One of the
Thank
shows
you, Mark.
he's got to watch every week is Rogan Radio.
yeah.
You guys got horrible taste. Boo. Hey, Bloodline. Cassie Allen. Has anybody watched Bloodline? It's on Netflix.
No, I heard that was pretty good.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Riverdale is
So good.
amazing, but like
It's a kid's show.
Yeah, like all teenagers watch it.
I like Saved by the Bell. But you know, like
Check,
a
you
show.
gotta watch Outlander and Game of Thrones because there's a lot of good love making. If you know what I mean.
A lot of good educational material.
Heavy petting.
Now listen, a show that I loved in the beginning, I didn't like it, but then it got very smart for I don't know 3 or 4 seasons, and then it got really stupid. Was House. I loved House.
Yeah, I freaking loved it. I watched all 7 seasons.
Loved House. And then all of a sudden, it was like, instead of these crazy things that he's figuring out, it's like, okay, they've got a toothpick that was wrapped in popcorn that he drank through a straw.
Like
at the
MacGyver
movie theater. You know, it's like, how does that even? It's like, okay, now it's dumb. And then when they start releasing the characters, and this character goes this way, and this character goes this way,
that's where they lost me.
or they start bringing new characters in, like they did with the Brady Bunch, like these orphans, these long lost brothers that no one has ever seen. That Mike Brady had an affair with Alice, and he left them off at the meat factory or something.
Really,
You know what I mean?
when it went downhill is when it went downhill is when he actually went apeshit and drove the car through that woman's dining room and damn near killed them people if they hadn't got up. And
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah.
The next season when it started, he was in jail and working as a custodian in jail,
right?
And he meets up with another woman at the jail and all that kind of stuff. That's where it started going down.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets stupid every now and then. It just gets kind of stupid.
Well, they run out of
spoiler alert. That's like 6 years ago, dude.
They run out of storyline. They got to do something. I just don't like when they start switching characters out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I don't
then
like.
You'd have really been PO'd about NCIS over the past.
So you don't
4
watch
years.
that one either. I don't.
Well,
watch
which
that
one? Tampa Bay or
No, the original?
Oh, well, where's
when they, especially when they killed Ziva's character.
Oh, I was gonna watch that episode.
4 or 5
I can't wait till NCIS
4 season years ago.
South Pole.
I mean, NCIS.
NCIS Lumberport.
Coming this fall, NCIS Antarctica. You can't go there, but the cops can. And they are taking their Flat World Society members with them.
Flat World Society members. You see that thing on Facebook that said flat, the Earth's
that,
not flat.
Is that another organization for Scientology people? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think
the
Chuck just made
Flatliners
that up.
or the Flat Earth people.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Seriously.
I mean,
listen, I've seen pictures from space, but I also see a lot of doctored stuff too. You know what I mean?
That's where we got to get back into the podcast.
Yeah, we need to get into some really kind of crazy conversations about stuff, because why is it that you cannot go to Antarctica? Why is that?
Because it's just so damn
Why
cold.
is it that the Russians, they found the Russians, which are, everybody thinks the Russians are stupid. The Russians are actually pretty smart. They were much better with the United States, than the United States when it came to space. A lot of the exploration as far as getting minerals out of the ground. I mean, all this kind of stuff that the Soviets, just like the AK compared to the M16, you could put that AK in a thing of concrete and somehow it's going to work. An M16, you take it outside and get some fresh daylight on it, and it might not work. Who knows?
Yeah.
But the
fresh daylight.
But they have there are like oases in Antarctica that are like 77 degrees, and it shows the Russians swimming in these ponds and these lakes and stuff.
Russians are tough, man.
Now listen, no, because there's some kind of geothermal thing is what it is, and that's the reason.
So it's like a big hot tub up there.
Down there, dude. It's Antarctica.
It's a hot spring.
Yeah, so I mean, Antarctic. That's where the penguins are. You ever watch March of the Penguins? Quack, quack. Come on, man, knock it off. That's a duck anyway, dork. But yeah, so it's just like, why can't you go down to Antarctica? What's the big deal?
What kind of noise does a penguin make, Chuck?
I don't know, man.
See, you don't even know.
Why would I want to know that?
I told you, it sounds like a duck. They got bills, don't
Maybe
they?
you can't go down there, so you can't harm the animal life that's
Yeah,
down
that's
there.
exactly what it is.
It's only 25 below zero down there.
I've been
you might be
colder
right.
But
Either that or the
still.
aliens
It's
live down
global
there.
warming, bro.
I mean, do you see like half the
Science.
animals that like are up here? Like half of them are closed up in zoos and all this stuff, so they can't be wild, and then they're getting shipped to other places.
Sort of like
and
the
they can't be in
Mustangs.
their natural habitat. Yeah.
Hey, you might be right about that.
I think she is right.
Listen, it's either that or that's where Hitler lives. That's where, because he went there after World War II.
Michael
Obviously,
Jackson,
everybody knows
Elvis
that.
went. Elvis.
I think it's
the
actually
Tupac?
where
Tupac?
Tupac is there?
Santa Claus lives actually in Antarctica.
I would say that's why you're not allowed to go down.
Because everybody thinks it's like Area 51. If you say that he's there, then you know what? He's not
SETI.
really there. So if you say he's at the
SETI's-
North Pole,
SETI.
then he's obviously not at the North Pole. He's
at the
actually at the
South
South Pole. Either he could be right outside living in a garage, as far as anybody knows. I'm not going to say that because I don't want a bunch of people here looking for stuff for Christmas.
Plus, you don't want to ruin anything for Erica. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Spoiler alert: Santa Claus lives in my garage.
I would have found that out by now.
You don't know everything, Erica.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
Later on, you'll
here's the
see her.
thing. Santa Claus lives on North Pole, right?
That's what they say.
According to the Superman, he's always also from here, North Pole too.
Superman is from the North
That's
Pole.
where he keeps all his
That's where he
crystals.
put
and
his-
stuff.
Yeah, it's where his Fortress of Solitude's at.
Fortress of Solitude. Geek alert.
Yeah.
Geek alert. I love you, Chad. I was trying to think. I was trying to think of it too, but you got to it before
I saw
did.
the wonderment on your face. I know what the name of it is.
I know
but
what the name of it is, but I was trying to think, and you were talking, and you said it first.
Yeah, you're just jealous.
Anyway, we're going to shut this show down. And once again, if you're listening, thanks for listening to Rogan Radio. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart. We are on live each Sunday. We do a live show here, as you're seeing now on the YouTube and on Facebook. Just search for Rogan Radio. On Instagram, we're basically everywhere. Just look for Rogan Radio. You'll see it. And we were in New York one time. This is funny. I'll tell you this story. We're walking down. Michelle and I are doing this video walking down Times Square. So we're just going to go up and just start talking to people. We're doing this live thing, kind of
Like a
messing
man
around.
on the street kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So I go up to some dude selling tickets for a comedy show. Just some dude, and you see them guys up there. I said, hey, man, you know, do you like Rogan Radio? And the guy just comes out of nowhere in this cool, really accent, New York accent, which I can't do. He goes, well, hell yeah, I love Joe Rogan. I'm like, no, man. I was like, we're not talking about Joe Rogan. We're talking about Rogan Radio. He goes, yeah, I love that, man. I love Joe, or whatever he said, but it's hilarious. You can go back and watch it. That's great. Tim, once again, explain to us what's going on the 17th, brother.
We are putting on a pro wrestling event at 405 9th Street in Fairmont at the Church with the Red Doors between Burger King and McDonald's. Starts at 7:05. Cost is $7 at the door. Bring some winter clothing or a blanket for the Fairmont mission. And the main event is this guy right here beside me, TJ Phillips, the AIWF World Cruiserweight Champion, taking on the man that has held that belt more times than anyone else in the AIWF, the number one contender for that title, Drew Game. So,
that's awesome, man. And then now you're going to keep everything up to date on Roll Shoot Wrestling, the Facebook page.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so go ahead and check that out. So let's throw up a link there
and,
for you.
we're gonna be putting a bunch of news on there soon because, like I said, we're now traveling into Charleston and Cleveland. And
you're going large, man.
Yeah, there's some other stuff going on, but we got to wait until there's confirmation on all that.
And TJ, just, you know what? Barbed wire, okay. Fluorescent light bulbs, okay. Chain link fence, okay. One chip challenge, just stay away from.
Yeah. I'll cut myself up all day long. Just internal pain. No, I'm good.
Yeah, he can't do internal or bottom of the feet.
Yeah, bottom of the feet's a no too. I got women's feet.
It's crazy. He's got a head made of stone.
Yeah,
but feet of a woman.
I step on a Lego block. I'm done.
Oh my God! And the older you get, the worse it gets.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should start a new thing called the Lego Challenge. Instead of walking on hot coals, we could walk on Legos.
Why
not?
I'll do a flip onto them.
Do they?
You know what I mean? I'll do that, but I ain't gonna walk on them.
Try hitting your hands off lane lines. That's the worst.
Hitting your hands off on landlines.
Lane lines, like in a pool when you're swimming.
Well,
you coming down on it? Like,
Oh my gosh, it hurts.
I mean, I've done some horrible things to, like carpet strips to the face and things like that.
Wow.
My God.
You know, a little bit of exterior pain never bothered me, but that chip was horrible.
Yeah,
That was bad.
He's
It was
done way
bad.
worse and didn't make him pass out.
And you know what? That was what's funny, Tim, is you've seen TJ literally get all beat up, just like this. Tim's got a picture of him. Just all bleeding all over the place and everything else. And then and then for him to somehow suffer through that. But then you actually, after the one chip challenge that we had a few weeks ago, then you go back and you see him, almost dead from a potato chip. Yeah, that would be kind of bizarre.
I was kind of freaked out.
I would be, because you know what? You have a guy like TJ that would be used to the pain or can block their management, whatever that process is right
me
there.
Out. I was worried about. I thought I was having a heart attack.
And I tell you what, tell me this: the more you think about, whatever, it's a snowball effect, and the more scared you're just like, this is not normal,
start
dude.
Panicking, yeah.
I was like, "Come on, man, drink some milk, eat some ice cream, you'll be fine." He's just sitting in the bathroom going, "Dude, I don't know, man, I don't know." I was like, "Well," he was like, "I'm not eating that again." And he literally said on the way here,
Yeah.
"I'm not eating that damn chip again, bro."
That is great.
I was like, I took the bullet once, bro.
Not again. But hey, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
And
having
you know
us.
what? You're going large, and that's great, man. If
Thanks,
anytime
man.
we can help,
we
we'll
want to involve you guys So we'll get you some dates, and hopefully we can work something out.
Yeah, absolutely,
Get you guys
absolutely.
out to some shows. Have a good time.
It'll be a blast. I can't wait to see him. And then since we have the a champion in our midst, how cool is that?
It's pretty cool. You know, it's weird because, like I said, I set the goal when I was an 8-year-old little boy.
Right.
And you know, now I'm 37 almost. So I finally got it. So that's what the weird thing is.
Yeah.
You got to defend your title now.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. That's
all
even
downhill
harder.
It's all downhill now.
Yeah, it's harder to keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's awesome, man. We also we'll get next week. We'll talk about SpaceX with this Falcon Heavy because that just still amazes the hell out of me. That's amazing stuff, and it never gets old. Rocket launches, and I've always wanted to go down and actually see a rocket launch because of that ripping sound. It's almost like they're ripping the sky apart when those rockets are flying up, you know. But to see those actual rockets come down and land now is the most bizarre thing.
Very
It's just
impressive.
Like, it makes it cool. It may
That's the
Elon
future.
Musk.
I can't
That's
believe
the
they got
future,
it on the
you know?
first one though. On the first try.
Oh, with the Falcon Heavy.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
like having them do that.
It's amazing.
It's so we'll talk about that. We'll really get into The Last Jedi. Listen, it's gonna be a slice fest on that thing. It will be a slice fest because
TJ might have to come back next week.
probably
then,
should.
too. I mean,
be a
I haven't
slice
seen any of
fest.
them,
It's
so I have no
garbage.
opinion. But
I was
He was
really
ranting.
Garbage water.
Listen, man, when I saw Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill did not need to be in that thing. But you know what? The one thing that I didn't appreciate so much is he didn't bring his 60 cats with him because all homeless guys have like 60 cats.
I was just so aggravated at the whole situation of the whole entire thing that Luke Skywalker just all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe, gave up on everything. And
Right.
He's that weak-willed after, basically killing his own father and deciding I'm going to take this step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, now I'm weak-willed again.
Well, you know what? And I
no,
caught-
BS. And then he become Doc Strange all of a sudden. He's
Well, then
astral projection.
well, that's what and then that float and stuff. I'm like, what is this? And
They
then
should have killed her off. That was the perfect opportunity.
yeah, they should have killed her
Perfect
off.
opportunity.
But you know what? And I caught another thing too, which I didn't catch because there were so many. I saw so many different things from so many movies. I saw a lot of Empire Strikes Back stuff. You know what I mean? But then, just real quick, is I thought, and I think I heard Kylo Ren talking about, or somebody talking about him killing all of Luke's students or some junk like. Okay, he did say that, right?
Except for a few.
Okay,
the
right.
Knights of Ren.
But where did that happen at? Where's that story?
Well,
at?
you did between Jedi and Force Awakens. It's going to be a bunch of crap that they release probably in 20 years.
Right, right.
Probably.
Thank
all these
Disney. Thank
backstories.
Disney.
Rey's backstory,
Yeah.
Snoke's backstory. These will probably all be standalone.
Oh, that's what aggravated me the most was it was like all these, fan theories about who Snoke is and what
he's
Snoke's
so
deal.
big.
Oh, it doesn't matter. He just got cut to pieces.
And you know what? And he's playing this part like he's a predominant character. He's a big mean dude. Has the Force. It's like a paranormal activity demon stuff. He can just make people fly with him. And he's sitting there lounging back with a cigarette dangling out of his mouth. And a lightsaber comes up and cuts him right in half. And that's it.
Well, here's my
Like,
theory
really?
on that. Here's my theory on that. He was all scarred up anyway. I bet you he regenerates.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking
I'm
that
betting
he
he
is
just
the
like,
Emperor's master because that's they said he was
I
able
bet
to do
he's
that.
like T1000. He's just gonna mold back together.
You know what? I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't either because I think it's crap. I think
It
they
is.
just
They don't need to. They don't need to keep bringing
like I
everybody
said,
back.
you can bring TJ back next week if you'd
Listen,
like.
when he started talking, when he started actually talking last week, I said somehow that's the Emperor. See, and this is why they shouldn't have killed him off if they do kill him off because we're not talking about anything else but Snoke.
Yeah,
Right, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, this is the Emperor guy. This is the Emperor because he almost started sounding like him. He almost started saying the same things. But then I started getting in my mind, well, listen, they're just rehashing Empire Strikes Back, so don't put too much stock into anything because these are all just short things. And then the what was the thing with the there was another real problem that there's a lot of them that I had.
Carrie Fisher being alive before longer than 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, and then she's floating through space like Mary Poppins.
Flying through
dropping
space.
dropping bombs on a dreadnought when there's no gravity, but somehow you got to get above it so that they just
so they fall straight. Yes.
And then I don't know. And then the whole casino scene. What is that?
That's what I was talking to you about the other day. You could have taken that out of the movie and it would have never.
It was a James Bond
or like the
feeling.
whole.
You know what I mean? It
Well,
felt like it was a
it's the-
James Bond movie, not a Star Wars movie.
But they're trying to be politically correct too. Like, we wanted to save these animals from being ridden in this thing. Really, you ride tauntauns and cut them open when you need them.
It become a PETA
But you need to
commercial.
release these into the wild.
Let's
It
worry.
become a PETA commercial. and
Let's
it
worry
aggravated
more.
me, too.
let's worry about these made-up animals more than the stormtroopers getting shot all over the place.
Yeah,
because they
don't
have to
matter.
They have to stand there and watch that chick in her stainless steel outfit not have anything hit her. I mean, they're bouncing off, and if I'm sitting there as a stormtrooper,
I'd be
right?
like, give me one of them damn outfits.
I'm like, why am I doing
Yeah,
it?
no
One shot,
shit.
one kill. One shot, one kill anywhere on me, and I'm out. I'm like a red shirt in Star Trek, right? I'm done. Yeah. But this chick, she can get hit with about anything, and you know what? She just bounces off and gets
She is the most anticlimactic character of any because they build her up so much like she's gonna
and then she's
even
nothing.
in the Force Awakens, what she had like 6 minutes. In this one, 6 minutes, and now she's dead.
Phasma was worth
Phasma, yeah, that's what I'm talking
But
about.
you know, that's the whole thing. You have
Gone.
Snoke, boom, and maybe he's gone now.
Like you said, they always kill off the good characters.
Darth
like
Maul. I
you
thought
know
Darth
what I
Maul.
mean?
They should have kept Darth Maul. I like Darth Maul.
He was a badass.
I really think they found Phasma's place, though, and it's basically the new Boba Fett. Boba Fett didn't do anything in the original.
You know what? You know what? If
And
you
he
think
became
about it,
such a big character.
Yeah, if you think about it, you're right. He didn't play any really role.
No,
I mean,
not
but
until the
over the
prequels.
years, and I think because what it was is the 4, 5, and 6. I mean, there was so much time after Return of the Jedi between the new one. There was so much time for people to digest and swallow and take in Star Wars that they've turned these characters who really had not much of a role
into
something that they really weren't. But they've become these giant and. But that's all he was. And Phasma, but they were building her up like she was going to be the shit.
Well, I really think Phasma's going to turn out to be the new Boba Fett. You watch.
The only person that ever had a good death was Solo.
She's so cool. She's
Yeah,
got
really.
chrome gear. Yeah.
Well, now that brings up another interesting point real quick, and then we're going to jet out of here. Because Chad and I were talking about this. Okay, at the very end, when Luke's doing his Adam Sandler yoga routine on the rock and looking at the sunset, okay? When he's doing that, I'm just thinking, my God, I hate this scene. I hate the duck lips that Mark Hamill's doing now. All this junk. It's like he's constantly taking Snapchat pictures of himself. I mean, I just don't like it. But anyway, but then he disappears. Okay? Yoda disappears. So now we're talking. Now here's a theory. Did Ben Kenobi, okay?
I've heard this. Go ahead.
Did Ben Kenobi actually die by the hand of Darth Vader's lightsaber, or his light sword, or whatever Mark likes to say?
Laser sword.
Or did he absolutely, at the last minute, vaporize himself so he could remain in the Force? Because there's been a lot
don't
of...
see a blow land. He
Right.
turns into nothing before the blow strikes.
Right, and that might be
That's a
where
good
that story
point.
comes, because then all of a
because
sudden...
Qui-Gon, you don't hear him anymore because he got stabbed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And look how many Jedis, when Anakin went in there and started waxing on these little Jedi kids, greatest scene I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie ever. He goes into the nursery and just starts slicing and dicing. It's fantastic. But all these other Jedis that get waxed, like in the clones and all that stuff, but you never, their energy's done. They're out. They're out. But you'll have a select few, granted it's for the story, but that might be one of those things where if you just kind of vaporize, you become the Force. You know what I mean? You have the Force, and then you become.
It's at that point
the
where
Force.
they are so in touch with the Force
almost.
that they transcend
into the Force. Right. Yeah, that's what happened there.
I am.
and that's how the Force.
But
has
you know what? When he's
power
standing
that
out there
they
in front of that base and all them, they're all shooting down, boom, 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 and then the dust clears and he just does this thing right here.
Yeah.
What the?
I got
I
actually
yelled.
kinda like
That
that.
was the dumbest thing I swear
I
to
actually
God ever.
wanted to see him use the lightsaber before he got destroyed.
And something I knew I was going to be in trouble when that the X-wing do with
Poe Dameron.
whatever. Yeah, I love those. I love those sandwiches too. By the way, they're great at Nick's barbecue.
Onions. Oh God.
But anyway, it's like, okay, they do this little thing, and he comes and says, I've got this important announcement from Princess Leia. I need to talk to General Ramadan or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, it goes into this comedy routine I've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
on
that's
Guardian of
what
the Galaxy. I'm like,
aggravates me more
what
than
the?
anything.
What is this?
They tried
Why
to
are we
force
doing-
too much comedy.
Yeah, they like shovel force feeding you these jokes, whether it's out of him or it's out of the other girl that was supposed to be guarding. Joke here, joke here. It aggravated me when they did the prequels with R2D2 and Jar Jar Binks and crap. In the original ones, R2D2 and C3PO were the comedy relief.
They
Okay,
were.
That's all you needed,
And it was
You
very
didn't
subtle.
Need,
It was like-
you
You're
didn't
right.
need
They didn't-
anything
They
else.
just had like little smart one-liners.
Now
They weren't.
it's like ridiculously, we're going to shovel it on over the top. Hey, we're Disney. We're going to make you laugh.
Well, you know what, and that's what I was mentioning to Chad also. It almost seems like now Star Wars is falling into this Disney corporate trap of Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, with all of these different this one template that they have, that this winning formula, so they think it is, and every single movie is going to follow this. You're going to have the same characters. You're going to have the same storylines, sort of. You know, you're going to have the same kind of routine.
I think that's why I liked Rogue One so much.
I
because
loved
it
Rogue
fit in
One.
right before A New Hope. You already kind of knew the story.
Yeah.
Before they even did it, you know what I mean?
But it didn't have all that
Wasn't a rehash.
slapsticky humor horse shit.
No, no. It put the war back in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Rogue
and that's
One
like I was
did.
telling Chuck, for 2 years we're waiting to figure out what happens when Rey hands Luke that lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know, it's this moment, and this comes,
And this-
and you're like this, and then all these words are going to be exchanged. And we're like, I understand, and he throws us something.
Yeah, well, that was
He
the,
just
that
walks
was
away
the
like
movie
mic
in
drop.
a nutshell.
It's like a mic drop.
That was the
Mic
movie
drop.
in a nutshell. Was everything you wondered about, or cared about, or gave a crap about, and to buy that ticket
Yeah,
to
just-
see. Oh well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Snoke doesn't matter. Lightsaber doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yep.
Everything doesn't matter. You were duped, and I felt ripped off.
Listen,
I
when
really did.
And then just some stupid scenes. That movie was way too long, in my opinion. They could have cut all these.
Oh
stupid scenes.
yeah, it was about
When-
45 minutes.
When
too
Luke
long.
goes down with his Yeti and starts pinching nipples on that whatever
Why?
that thing was,
Why?
and then he drinks it. And the way everything Mark Hamill does, he has a terrible stage presence. I mean, his look, he just
Oh,
looks
no.
nuts.
I
He
have-
looks terrible.
I have heard people say that if he doesn't get a Best Actor nomination for this movie, then they're insane. Yeah, exactly. He was just a pissed off old man. Here's another thing. He was so upset because she was there and she found him, and he didn't want anything to do with the Force or none of this shit. So why did he tell R2 where he was? Why did he give R2 the missing piece to the puzzle
Oh,
so
that's
he
called
could
a
be
plot
found?
hole. Whoever wrote that,
So he
is
could be
garbage.
found. If he didn't want to be found, then why would you
Yeah.
tell? Why would you still
Yeah.
tell a stupid
But I
riddle?
mean, that was the whole thing. When he drank that, it's like he's drinking this whatever it is out of this sea lion or whatever that thing is.
That was gross.
And it's just like, and he looks, but the way he looks at her, and he's looking at her, it's like, this is stupid. That is
Oh,
dumb. You look stupid, Mark. You look stupid. You're a wing. Go back to wing commander.
Go back to Corvette Summer, buddy.
Corvette Summer.
Anyway, hey, listen, TJ, Tim, thanks for coming in this evening, man, and I hope everything
Thanks
works
for
out.
having
Keep us updated on that. Check them out on the Facebook at Real Shoot Wrestling. Cuddles is back in the studio after a long missing trip. Glad to see you back in the studio, Cuddles. Michelle, she's in the house, but Erica came in, the marketing director. Once again, check her out on the everything that we do on Instagram at Rogan.radio. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're doing really good with swimming in school, and you're getting ready to ride a Mustang and drive in one, maybe.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah, I doubt that second part's gonna happen.
You have a better
No.
ride. You have
Drive
a
in one, not drive one.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you have
Dang.
you have a better chance of riding that horse than you ever do driving that Mustang.
Just saying.
Dang.
Yeah, see, but she gives me those looks, and I can't look at her. I have to put my blinders on.
Hey, you know where he keeps his keys? Just saying.
Okay.
Oh, I think
Anyway,
I do.
ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everybody, thanks for coming in this evening. And until next week, listen, hey, you've been listening to Rogan Radio.